down the hammer and pick up the pencil. You're about to listen to the Savvy Radio Show. Learn from real-life real estate investors, experience revealed with the Savvy Landlord as your host.
Bang, bang. Hopefully you had a great Christmas. I did. I just hang out with the family. Hopefully you did the same. You relaxed, enjoyed this time, because you'll never get it back again. That's it. 2018 holiday Christmas is over. Now it's time to look forward. 2019, hopefully it's going to be big. I still do Jim Rohn, and you can have the best next year. You can have the best year ever. And it was like, in my mind, I thought it was like a cliche, the best year ever. And it's interesting. It's finally working on me, and I think you can. And I think that 2018 was a solid year for me in a lot of ways. One, I grew a lot of circumstances, a lot of growth in areas I didn't want to attack, and I did. And the crazy thing is, I was preparing for this podcast, and I was looking for my goals, and I swore I did a podcast on them, and I couldn't find my goals. I knew they were on my wall, but I couldn't find them. I don't know what the deal was, but I'm going to try to do a recap from 2018, and then I'm going to move on to 2019. I'm going to talk fast, just so you know. I'm going to be transparent and authentic as possible on my goals. You know, it's a struggle for me to share these things because I wonder what people would think, even though I'm not doing this for you to like me anymore. But I noticed that some people do hear other people's goals and it motivates them. And bang, bang, that's why you're here to the SavvyRadioShow.com. This is your boy, Stephen VanCauwenbergh, trying to stay up on it and to motivate you. That's what it's all about. So I want to be transparent and authentic. It's not easy exposing myself. Some things I'm going to add that I didn't mention before. Some things I'm going to explain, but you got to bear with me. It's swirling in my head, and I try to decide on what's important, what's not important. But if I do reach you in some way, or you are motivated, reach out to your boy if I forgot something, or if you need clarification on something, because sometimes I speak so fast, my mind goes crazy, and things just start flowing out. Half the time I don't remember what I say. But if there's something that I mentioned, a goal or a dream that I didn't have clarity on, let you know. I did have a goal of 100 units of apartments, and that didn't happen. But the one thing that did happen is I did go to apartment school, and I paid ungodly amount of money to learn not what to do. My goal for 2017 was to go all in on apartments in 2018 and learn everything I can, and I did, and I spent a lot of money in mentorship, and I learned about syndicating and hiring an attorney, and I learned a lot about myself. And the great thing is that after I went through this whole massive course that took me 3 or 4 months, and taking tests and learning syndication and SEC rules. And when it finally gets to the last video, it's like, this is serious stuff. You're managing other people's money. And like, I already reached what I wanted to reach, and that's called a lifestyle. And so you got to think about it. These goals and dreams that you have, are they going to make you who you are? It's who you become. And I thought I wanted to be, buy 100 units, and I didn't do it this year. I did buy some units, but the one main thing is I learned a lot about myself this year. What motivates me? I gained all my weight back, which is crazy. I stopped being a vegan, which is even weirder. But it was time for a change. And I'm back on it. Am I back on being a vegan? Not really. I do cut out cheese and milk as much as possible. No milk for sure. No dairy. No eggs for sure. But I do throw in some chicken every once in a while. But still a vegan at heart, so it doesn't really matter. I did have some drama this year. This is my little recap. Couple of legal battles in there this year. 3 units blew up on me. Cost $120,000. Thank goodness for insurance. One great thing is there's a ton of great things, and I'm all over the place, so just bear with me here. I ran a half marathon in Yosemite Park in California. That was a great experience. And one thing I did learn out of that experience is that you need to step it up. What do you mean? Let's step it up physically. I'm talking about when we were there, and I ran 13 miles and we were exhausted. It was my wife and I. And we just looked on TripAdvisor, and hired a tour guide. And I'm telling you right now, that was the best experience that I could remember in a very long time. And it was relatively inexpensive. I think it was like $150 a person for my wife and I. Like maybe it was $300 or I can't remember. It didn't matter. Whatever it was amazing. Having a personal tour guide take us through all the nooks and crannies of this amazing environment and knowing things that other people didn't know was so worth it. And I'm tired of being poor, and I'm tired of being cheap, and I'm going to start going VIP. And if I can't afford it, then I won't do it, but I'm not going to be restrictive anymore. And I'm going to do experiences. Yes, millennials, you have changed my life. Here's some big stretch goals. Crazy. I don't know if I mentioned it before. I was kind of elusive on my goals in 2018 because they were very personal. I felt like, I didn't want to, say things that people would turn them off. But one of my big goals is I wanted to give $100,000 to the church. I go to this amazing church called Life Church, and they're doing big things, and it's an amazing movement. And the Lord allowed us to do that. We gave away $100,000 this year, and I got stung through that process, but it was a faith goal in November. He spoke to me. He's like, you got to give back. You're not giving back to me. I've blessed you with all this. And sure enough, I was like, Lord, how am I going to do it? And he came through. I remember January 1, right out the gate, January 19th, I flipped 3 condos. And then I sold something else. I sold some duplexes for over retail. I sold a couple of hood properties, made some money through Investor Weekend. Thank you for all the support. People didn't know I did some coaching that I normally don't do. And I found out through that process because I'm not a big fan of trading time for money. I'm about freedom and about buying assets, period. So when I'm coaching somebody, they're paying me, and I'm honored that folks want me to coach them. Believe me, I'm honored. But where is this going? It's not residual income. But I committed for 2018, like I'm going to coach people, God. If you bring people in my world that want to do something, and I'm ready to do it with them. And he did. He came through and provided, and we were able to do that. Another thing I wrote down in 2018, I go borrow $250,000 to $1 million in private money. I had no idea why I did that. I don't know why I wrote it down. It was a stretch goal for me. And I'm telling you, in September, actually the 1st of October, I actually borrowed $500,000 from a private investor that loaned me the money for 60 days that I was able to do an acquisition and then refinance out. Thank you so much. He probably doesn't even listen to this podcast. You know who you are. I appreciate you. You've infected our family. So again, I learned so much, and here's some other ones that stretch me. So another surprise is that I purchased a 8,000 square foot retail commercial space. Pretty gnarly. About that was I had it pre-leased, epic. I had a tenant already lined out, slid them in on the day of closing, and it's just been rolling ever since. And that was in October. So it's been a great 4 months. No drama there. One good thing is I finally is listen to other people. And my word for 2019 is ask. And I just came up with it today when I was trying to prepare for this. And my homeboy, I was in Ohio. You've got to go to the Ohio RIA convention. Vina Cox is off the chain. There's great speakers, but the camaraderie, the advanced deal maker session, the Bob Dressman, the folks that are doing it day in and day out. One of my homies, Thomas Morgan, we were rooming together, and I just started trying to push him. I was like, yo, it's time for you to step up, and I didn't want to be a hypocrite, and he pushed me. Well, I had a 3-year goal, ladies and gentlemen, that I accomplished this year, which was I put The Savvy Landlord. I wrote a book called The Savvy Landlord, and it's on Audible. Praise them. It is coming out like any day, and it was a struggle for me to do it. It was not easy. There is a long process, a lot of hoops, and things, very anal details that I am not about details at all. Big strokes. Thought that was interesting, and from October, it took me about a 2-month process to get approved, and so can't wait to announce that and any day, hopefully by the end of the year. But that was a 3-year push from my homeboy. I appreciate that. I did about 6 deals in wholesale. Not too bad. I sold about 12 houses. Not too bad. And I bought 6 cribs. Now, my goal was around 20. I also loaned and borrowed private money. Thought that was really cool. I pushed myself to start a side hustle business, a social media company, and I did that whole business completely outsourced, and it was a struggle, and it was a lot of work at first, but within 5 months, we started making a profit, and it's been exciting ever since then, and stage 2 is in the works, and I'll talk more about that detail. It's not real estate oriented, but it's business oriented. Also, I did another new side hustle business, renting out RVs. Think about Airbnb for an RV, pretty gnarly, and just pushing myself, looking for assets to purchase, and how can I get a return? And that's why I started that social media business. It's an asset. How can I get a return, residual? But there's a lot of moving parts, and it's not that easy. And then did an RV. Got that rolling and renting that deal out, slow going, but a very interesting asset to acquire and to release out. Actually, I've written a podcast on it, and I need to drop that one soon. If that's something you want me to talk about, because pretty gnarly how I compare it to real estate, and it works. All right, I don't know why I'm out of breath. Maybe I'm excited. I don't know. But I just got done running. So now it's 2019. Bang, bang, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to do it. It's been a minute. I've actually spent a whole month working on this and, writing my goals, refining them. And then I was like, man, should I share these goals? It's bizarre. It's weird. I wonder what people think. And, I got no apologies. I'm just going to do it. Hopefully this stuff motivates you. I don't know. I need some feedback on this. But number 1, last year, 2018, my word was agile. Be agile. Be nimble. This year, 2019, my word is ask. Ask for help and ask for the sale with no apologies. Ooh, bring it. Yep. Ask. That is my word of the year. You need to have a word every year. I need to ask for help. That's why I struggle with my pride. Can you help me? And, someone really impacted me this year. My man, Dave Torres, he's like, man, for you to reach your goals, and I have this big audacious goal of giving away $1 million to the church. He's like, you got to change as a person. You got to change. You got to have better mentors. You got to have different mentors. And I was like, wow. So, what I figured out is that I need to ask for help, and I need to recruit people. And if that's you, if you have a vision or a dream, you want to be a part of Savvy Investors, I'm going to go big. That's it. 2019, I'm going to give it 110. And if you have any interest at all, being part of the team in any magnitude, let me know. It's amazing how God puts people together. And hopefully I can be in your life and impact your life. One thing that I've figured out so far in 2019 is that I'm getting better setting goals. Like, I'm really thinking about them. I'm just throwing out, I want to be a millionaire. That ain't no goal. I mean, it's a good goal. But I'm getting better at setting goals. So think about that. Get better at setting goals. Keep in mind, it's just a goal, but you got to write it down to obtain it. Now, these goals for 2019, these are not all my goals or all my dreams, okay? These are just 2019. And so I shared these goals the other day with my homeboy. He's like, man, you guys sounds like you got a lot of goals. And I was like, wow, I had to reflect for a second. I was like, bro, no, I don't. I got 2. But all these little goals have to get to the big goals. So here's the big goals. Well, my first big goal is $300,000 for Savvy Investors. And my second big goal is to run a 26.6 marathon, to run a full marathon. And I have not done that. I want to do it before I die. And I may die while I'm doing it. And this may be my last year on this little earth. But I'm going to go big, and I'm going to break them all down. How I'm going to get there. So Savvy number 1 is my number 1 goal. And if you know me, Savvy Investors, Savvy Landlord has been a struggle. It's been a great ride, but I don't know what to do with it. It's a great thing. And, the word landlord's a negative word and people don't understand, but I'm different. People think I'm African American, which is cool. I'm down with that, but it's just, people don't get me, right? I got a cool fan base, and I'm not trying to get fans. I'm trying to make a difference. It's two different things. So I was like, I've been always putting Savvy on the shelf. And then I met Eric Thomas, E.T., and, he's like, it takes 10 years to do it big, and you got to grind that out every day. And you got to grind it out when no one's looking. You got to do it. And I'm like, man, for what? What am I trying to do? Well, I knew the Lord spoke to me. He's like, you got to give me 1 million. I'm like, when he asked, what happened was in November, he's like, you got to give me 100,000 this year. I was like, okay, whatever, Lord, I'll make it happen. Boom. He did it in 11 months. I don't know how I did. I'm telling you, I'm looking at this sheet right here. I sold this one property. Somebody handed me a couple of G's. I got an insurance claim. I got to give 10,000. We made some money on Investor Weekend. I sold this one crib, sold this duplex. Got paid back on an LLC that I was in ownership of. And then I flipped these condos, did this other wholesale deal. I mean, it's just crazy when you commit to a goal. So after I committed in November, God was just showing up in January, bang, bang, bang. And then in March, he's like, I want you to give $1 million. I just started laughing. I'm like, how am I going to give you $1 million when I can't even handle the 100,000? How's that even possible? But he's like, don't worry about it. I was like, okay. So I shared a goal, and then I had this big vision about savvy investors creating some crazy platform that, instead of you going to YouTube trying to find out what a subject to is or how to do private money, you can go to Savvy Investors one day shortly. You will find out. I'll have this platform created, and I'm assembling this team, and we're going to have legit, authentic content that, bar none, not trying to sell you something. You're like, man, I'm willing to pay X amount to find out what a subject to is. And it's real. You don't have to think about it. Well, that's a platform that I'm trying to create, and that's the way I'm going to get to 1 million in 3 years. That's my big goal. So I got to work on Savvy. So my first little goal is 300,000 this year. How am I going to do it? Honestly, I have no idea. I am looking for help, and if you got any ideas, help your boy. So I figured, well, what all started with these folks that I met, that they jumped on my team. They're like working on the Savvy Investor Squad, and I'm like, wow, they just committed. And I was like, man, I was filled with the Holy Spirit. And I was like, man, how could I give back to them? And they said, we need this church that they go to. This is a church I'd never even heard about. Don't even know the name. They said this church that they go to, that they need a building for a youth group. And I was like, wow. So I said, all right, how much do y'all need? Like 30,000. I said, bang, bang. I said, 2019, that is my number one goal. I'm going to give away 30 G's. I mean, if I can give away 100, I can give away 30. It's going to be interesting. But then guys, like times 10, because you tithe off of 300,000. So that's my goal. That's how I came up with 300,000. This is not rock science, ladies and gentlemen. Setting goals, I don't even know where they come from. I just throw them out there and they come true. Man, I'm telling you, a property in Florida, it was a dream that I had 20 years ago, came true. The property that I live in today, it was 6 years ago. I was driving in this neighborhood. I was like, how do people live in this neighborhood? How do they afford to live here? And I'm in here. It's amazing what you could do with real estate, but it's really amazing when you really write them down and you just let it work. You let your subconscious work, and the right people, the right bankers, they come into your life, the right mentors. So that's my first goal, 300,000 for the savvy investors. 10% goes to this church, I don't know, to provide a youth group building for them. So how am I going to plan on doing that? Well, first thing, Investor Weekend, I'm trying to go nationwide. We're going to Chattanooga, and we're going to do Investor Weekend in Chattanooga, and then, of course, Oklahoma City. But the big vision is we're going to try to do one every month all over the nation within 3 years. We want to have every city. Not every city, but major cities, or cities that make sense, okay? And I'm looking for ambassadors. So if you're in Houston and you tuned into the show and you're like, wow, I'm down with a Savvy or Detroit or New Mexico, you hear me, you know me, Dallas, let's do an investor weekend together. I got some ideas. It's lucrative for you, and it could help us as well. I'm releasing a book this year, 100 Savvy Secrets is coming out, hopefully by April. That is my big goal. I'm going to try to take it on the road pretty soon, do a book tour. I don't know how that's going to happen, but it's on my goals list. I'm releasing a private money course. It's not easy. There's several private money courses out there, and they may be good, but this is the real deal, authentic. I'm working with somebody right now, and we're testing it. We're doing it. We're trying it every day, and it's working. Doing coaching course. A lot of people ask me, how do you coach? And it's been a long, 7-year process, and I'm in the process of writing that. Hopefully by the end of the year, I'll have that course out, and I'm going to teach some classes on there. We're going to do, I'm doing this mastermind. I've been doing it for 3 years, and anybody just invited. But if you're interested at all in this mastermind group that I have coming up in February, I know it's short notice. There's a little vetting process. We just want to make sure that you are able to contribute, not economically, but, just not a taker, that you're a giver as well. I'm going to try group coaching this year. I'm going to do some classes in Oklahoma City. I hope Oklahoma City will support that. And another dream that I have, I want to do a collaboration with Mr. Landlord. I'm going to call that out. Jeffrey Taylor doesn't even know that, and he doesn't listen to my podcast, so I'm safe. But I want to do a collaboration with him. I want to network with him. I know he has a great fan base, and I believe I have a great message as well. And I believe that I could tap into his fan base and grow together, and I can help him reach a totally different dynamic of people. And I also want to hook up with my boy, Mike Butler. I don't know why. These are two people, two names. Again, these are goals I wrote down. I'm like, okay, Lord, how's this going to happen? So that's the savvy plan for the year. It's going to be hard. It's not going to be easy, but I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to try. I'm going to give it 110. And I don't even know if I'm going to get paid. I don't even know if I'm going to reach those goals. I have no idea. But sometimes you just got to write it down. You just got to do it. You got to stay focused. All right, what's my big second goal? So second one is savvy, because, I want to give the 30 to the church, the minimum, actually 1 million over time. I don't know how. And then the second one is, it's actually health. I want to run a marathon before I kill over. And I'm like, I want to run a marathon in Hawaii. Yep. So I wrote this elaborate plan. February, I'm going to run a half marathon in Austin, Texas. Then I'm going to write the memorial in April in Oklahoma City. And then in November, there's this rock and roll marathon. And then in December, I'm going to do the Hawaii marathon. Now, I have to work out every day. Now, I don't have a goal. Of course, I want to lose weight. But if I keep up with that schedule, because it's February, it's only about 6 weeks away, fat boy. I can't be eating cheeseburgers. I can't be sitting on the sideline eating cookies, even though it's Santa's face is on them. I got to get going on that. I got to finish, estate planning. I'm going to do it rock solid. I've been studying it. I know enough about it, but I want to do it strong. I want to do it big. I want to be rock solid. I want to have my estate planned. I don't know why. Maybe I'm going to die soon. I don't know. But the point is, I'm going to live this day to the fullest with experiences, and I'm going to finish this thing for my family so my wife would have no worries. Even though we got life insurance, and if I got clipped tomorrow, she's going to be taken care of. But there's just things like, what happens when this happens? What's going to do with this property? So on and so forth. I'm going to read 24 books this year, 2 a month. Got that from John Adcoff. You got to read that book called Finish Off the Chain. I'm going to do 24 date nights this year, and I'm going to document them. It's not going to be willy-nilly. We're going to write them down. We're going to strategically plan them, and we're going to count them out, and we're going to have 24 date nights, and then 24 grateful notes, because I'm grateful to my homies, whoever. I believe I'm going to be prompted. So I'm going to read 24 books or listen to them, both. 24 date nights with a honeybee and 24 grateful notes. Now, on my real estate side of things, bang, bang, I wrote down 44 units. I have no idea. Maybe there's an apartment building in my sites. I don't know. I look at them all the time. The market's crazy nutty, but I'm going to have faith. You got to have faith over fear. I have no idea how or why, but I got 44. Another goal that I have is I'm going to start brokering out money. I Googled this up the other day, because a lot of people ask me about money, and then because I wrote a book on banking, and I never released it, and I share it with certain people. One day I'll release it when I finish it. It's about 60% done. I love about money, what money can do. It's a tool. A lot of people, they're just limited because they say they can't have money. That's not true, because money's infinite. It's everywhere. Of course, I had to break those weird things that were on me, mentally, like, you gotta be rich to make money, and blah. But I thought about brokering money, and I Googled it up, and I found out that you don't have to have a license to broker out money. And so, bang, I might be brokering out money. That's just a goal, an idea. Definitely giving away the 30K to the church. And then I'm going to do a Whiz Kids fundraiser. I'm looking at March or April. If anyone's down, but I have an idea to do an awesome event that if you have any interest in it. Now, what Whiz Kids is, it's this organization that I tutor every Thursday. The proceeds of my books and courses go to Whiz Kids. It's a literacy program for at-risk youth in Oklahoma City. It's actually in Colorado as well. And we know that we're making an impact through education, real education, and man, it goes on from there. And then my last one is I want to give life to 10 people to know Jesus. What do you mean? Man, I know Jesus is my Savior, and I want 10 people that I introduce to him in some way or some fashion. I don't know how. That may be you listening to this thing. I may be confusing because I seem to be wild, but I do have a heart for Jesus, and I would love to share them with you. Be one of my 10. That's it. That's my goals for 2019. I hope they inspired you. If I've left something out or I'm missing something, I'm going to grind it out. If you want to be a part of the Savvy Investor team, 2019 is going to be strong. It's going to be big. I need your help. That's my word. I'm going to ask for the help. If you have goals, man, I love to see other people's goals. Email me, text me, Facebook me. Oh, we got a new Facebook page, Savvy Investors. It's already out. Just go to it's a business page called Savvy Investors. Anyway, big things 2019, big things for you. Thanks for listening. Have a wonderful end of the year. Make 2019 the best year ever.
Thanks for listening to the Savvy Radio Show. Glide online and listen to our other motivating episodes at savvyradioshow.com. Connect on Twitter at LandlordBook and always be buying assets.